In this episode, we're going to cover negative self-talk in sports. I'll go over what self-talk is, how negative self-talk holds you back as an athlete, and then a strategy that you can use to manage and work through negative self-talk. Hey there, I'm Eli Straw, a mental performance coach who works with athletes from around the world on building a stronger mental game. Self-talk in sports involves the way you think before and during, and then also after your games. It involves the way you're talking to yourself. Now, there are two different forms of self-talk. There is indirect self-talk and direct self-talk. Indirect self-talk involves thoughts that you're having about the environment. Some examples of indirect self-talk or indirect negative self-talk would include, the other team looks really good. I never play well at this field. I hate this ref, they're always against us. Those are examples of negative indirect self-talk. So it's self-talk that's still hurting you, but it's about the environment, the other team, the ref, maybe about your coaches, your teammates, anything outside of yourself, and you're thinking about it in a way that is affecting you or how the environment itself is going to affect your play. Now, direct self-talk, on the other hand, is directly about yourself. These will be thoughts like, I suck. I can't believe I did that. What if I make a mistake? Those are examples of more direct self-talk. Now, both will have a negative impact on your play. And the reason that it's important for us from a sports psychology standpoint to pay attention to your self-talk is because of the impact self-talk has on our emotions and on our mental state when we play. So if you're going to go out there and you're going to compete, do you think that you're going to compete better if you are in a positive mindset, in a positive mood, an uplifting mood, a confident state, or when you're in a negative state, when you are doubting yourself, when you're worried about what will happen? You're more likely to play better in the better mental state, right? The better emotional state. And your thinking is what will impact whichever state that you're in, because our thoughts are directly impacting our emotions, and then that impacts our behavior or our actions on the field or court. So when we look at the way negative self-talk will hurt you, I always like to break this up into the way it's hurting you in the moment, and then also the beliefs that are formed through our thinking. So the way negative self-talk hurts you in the moment is when you have negative thoughts going into a game, let's say, whether you're thinking about how good the other team is and how you don't know if you can play well against them, or if you're thinking, I suck, I'm not going to do well today, I hope I don't make any mistakes. All of that is putting you into a negative mindset. When you're in a negative mindset, your actions, so your behavior, will typically reflect the mindset that you're in. So let's just take the example of, I hope I don't make any mistakes today. Now, on the surface, that might not sound like a negative thought, but it's the type of thought that will likely negatively impact your performance. Because if I'm thinking, I hope I don't make any mistakes today, I've been playing really poorly during practice, now I'm in a more defensive and scared mentality. And it's likely I will play in a scared way. That's where I'll find myself holding myself back. Or maybe after a mistake, I think, I suck, I'm terrible, why did I do that? And I'm beating myself up. Well, now I'm distracted and I'm not moving on. I'm holding on to the mistake, and my confidence is slowly dwindling as I beat myself up. When you are about to perform or when you are performing, when negative thoughts fill your mind, whether they're negative because they are thoughts of self-doubt or negative because they're thoughts of worry and fear, we'll see that change your behavior, and we'll see it change your mood and your attitude, and then all of that works to reduce your performance and results in underperforming. Now, the other reason that negative self-talk hurts you as an athlete is because our beliefs, just as human beings, are formed through our thinking. And our brain and our beliefs, just deep within us, they're formed through repetitive thinking, most importantly. If you're thinking negatively every single day, game in and game out, after practice, you beat yourself up. Going into games, you beat yourself up. After mistakes, you beat yourself up. Over time, this builds a a negative belief. That's why it's difficult to have confidence if you are continually beating yourself up. So the strategy that you want to use to manage your thinking will involve two different parts. The first part will be managing or altering your in-the-moment thoughts. And the second part will be altering your natural thought patterns. So the in-the-moment thinking part of this involves you working to reframe or respond to the thoughts that you have in the moment. So again, let's say that you're going into a game and you notice yourself thinking about the other team, thinking about how you don't want to make mistakes. And you know that that is hurting your confidence and it's leading to timid and scared play. In the moment, you would want to respond that thinking to be more positive. Maybe you tell yourself, I trust my preparation, I'm ready to compete. Or maybe you tell yourself, this is going to be the day we beat that team. Just something a little bit more positive. The idea with this in the moment reframing of your thinking is that we want to make sure that you're working in an active and conscious way to build more positive thinking. Now, what I want to say real fast just with this idea is that the ultimate goal whenever you compete is to not think. It's to be in the moment, it's to be in the flow state. Unfortunately, that's not really a luxury that we can rely on if you're currently dealing with a lot of negative self-talk. There is no switch for you to flip to where you're going to go from thinking negatively and beating yourself up to automatically not thinking at all and just being in the moment. So yes, the ultimate goal for us is to be in the moment, but part of the process to getting yourself to a point where you can just be in the moment when you compete is learning how to manage that negative thinking so you have more positive thoughts. Because the more positive your thinking is, the more likely it is you'll be in a better mood, a better mental state, and then the easier it is for you to be in the moment. The second part of this process involves altering your natural thought patterns. And that happens by using a technique known as cognitive restructuring, where you outline your negative thoughts that you typically have. Just brainstorm your negative thoughts. And then you create a list of alternatives that we would classify as positive alternatives. Then what you do is you read over that list out loud to yourself every single day, as many times during the day as you can. And what you'll notice over time is that this works to alter your natural thought patterns, which really means that you'll have less negative thoughts pop into your mind before and during games, and it will be easier for you to have positive thoughts pop into your mind. And I'm working with a baseball catcher right now who has gone through this exercise, and he's gotten to a point after 3 months to where he doesn't have to read that self-talk list every single day anymore because he's actually worked to retrain his brain to think in a more positive way naturally. So that's a great strategy that I encourage you to use if you're dealing with negative self-talk right now. Because remember, your negative thinking leads to a negative attitude, a negative emotional state, which then impacts your behavior on the field or court. Now, if you're interested in learning more about my one-on-one coaching program, I've put a link to that in the description below, along with links to my 2 online courses, the Confident Competitor Academy and the Mentally Tough Kid course. Thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of success in all that you do.